I decided that it was time for another Gangplank video. Because Gangplank is cool and underplayed and misunderstood. He's a misunderstood pirate. He's had a sad life. But he looks fucking suave. I'll give him that. Yeah. I think he's pretty damn good though. So I think my win ratio with him is like 60 something. It's 60 something percent out of about 50 games so far, I think. But you can't win them all, which is unfortunate, but oh well. Practice is practice. As you can see, we've got a pretty decent team composition. Gangplank, Lucian, Nidalee, Elise, Leona. Got a nice mix of tank and, well, I'm not going to say tank, but bruisery and damage. And they have a Wukong, Thresh, Vayne, Lee, and Morgana, which is quite a terrifying late game team, really. Because late game Vayne's just going to be ridiculous. Wukong's ult will be ridiculous. Lee's pretty good late, but not as terrifying as early and mid. But now we move on to a slightly more interesting thing other than watching me stand still and hit a golem. Well, a large golem. The reason why I thought this would be a good video to put up is because Gangplank, in my opinion, is a pretty decent counter to Wukong. And you'll see why in about a minute or so. Because Wukong has his W that usually helps him either engage or disengage from a fight. And it makes him go for invisible for a bit and then he reappears. And generally I think what this guy did was think that he could use that and it would secure him safety from any damage. But if I target him with Parlay and the Parlay actually fires and he uses it after it's fired, it still hits him. And every time he tried to do it, I'd instantly just notice, as someone who played Wukong for quite a while, I'd noticed that it wasn't like there, move away from the clone to avoid the damage, but I knew it wasn't him. Also a tip for anyone who does play Wukong, if you want to pretend that you've used it, people will stop attacking you most of the time, so just if you're moving around, just press S and it'll just make you stop moving and it looks like you're a clone. And then before they realise that they've actually that you've done that, just start moving and run the other way or do whatever to chew. But notice what I'm doing here, I've pushed him to the tower because the minion lane was pushing itself. But I waited till I had 400 Gs. Because the Avarice Blade, along with his Parlay bonus, helps a lot. Because I was behind by 8 CS at that point. It's not a massive amount. But when I'm versing someone who can potentially, once they get to level 6, burst me down, I don't really want to be behind. And as you can see, we already have 3 kills on the jungler, mid, and the support. So that's always good. Another little tip you might not know is that if you have crit, which you probably will as Gangplank, if he looks like he's about to do a crit on a basic attack, you can actually cancel the animation and it will queue up the crit. So you could potentially just save it for the person you're laning against. There, this is where he messes up. He got too close to the turret twice. And somehow thought that flashing had saved him. It's like, well, I have it too. I did actually want them to escape when I used that. But they carried on anyway and they kind of lost out. And I think he actually, yeah, he's going to get killed there. I think. Oh. I was like 90% sure he died there, but oh well. Another thing most people at either top or the solo lane in general don't seem to understand is that the concept of lane pushing, and they just seem to think that pushing is good if they've gone back. Now that might be true depending on who they are and depending on how long it's going to take them to get back, but unless they've died, usually I wouldn't push. Especially if it's someone like Riven who can just jump back right into lane. You want to make sure that they're going to lose out on as much experience and as much money as possible, because obviously the less experience and less money they have, the less of an advantage they have. As you can see now, my CS is picking up quite a lot. Because I've overtaken him now. It's partly because I pushed it to the tower and he wasn't there to pick it up. Also, because now I've got Sheen, I can like get a lot more damage off with my parlay because it stacks it up on the parlay. Or I could eat some oranges and then everything will be K. Yeah, you can see there that he tried to do it, but it didn't work. One thing that I don't understand is, I know the jungler died, but he never really came top. I don't know if he didn't see me as a threat or something, but that's a bad move. Because if you pressure Gangplank under his tower, there's not much you can do. And there I knew exactly what he was going to do. And one shot. I immediately thought, oh crap, what if the jungler comes? But then I kind of just thought, oh well. It's a risk, but it's going to pay off for me, because even if he killed me, it means Wukong's missing out on it. So now I'm level 9. Wukong's probably about level 8. 55 farm to 57, and I've got 2 kills. He has nothing. And you can see he's building pure tank, and I'm building pretty much pure damage. I'll have 18% crit chance at this point. And stacked with Sheen, that'll do a lot of damage. And people seem to be forgetting that because they've got a trinket doesn't mean they can't buy a ward. Because yeah, this will last 2 minutes, but I'd rather have the opportunity to ward somewhere else at the same time. Although meanwhile, my Avarice Blade is stacking me up loads of cash and sells Parlay. Instantly just tell. See, he's pressuring me there, and it actually worked a bit. Because I can see that he's got more health than me in terms of items. So I need to be careful as to what I do, because he could ult on top of me. But because I'm constantly just harassing him, he knows that he's going to get outdealt. There's Lee, but I've warded, he can't do anything. Invisible minion. Now I was actually curious to see whether that would hit. Because to me it wasn't really that much of an issue if it did or didn't, because he's going to still miss out anyway. I actually thought, from what I saw when I actually used the ult, it looked like it was on him, but oh well. As long as I inch ahead in farm, everything's cool. Building a little bit of health as well. And he's just building armor. He should have tried to build it into, I'm guessing he was going for Sunfire Cape at this point. He should have just run straight for it. But instead he decided to mess around and buy different items. I am not quite sure what you are aiming for here, but you are not going to achieve it. And I pinged him that he was going away, probably to mid lane, for a summer holiday, something. Nice Caribbean cruise with plenty of banana stands. But then obviously he turned back. And that time he almost had me going. Even though he's got, what, an extra 180 health. What? Yeah. He has quite a bit of extra armor than me, and he has quite a lot more health than me to start with. That time I did shoot the wrong thing. And I accidentally messed that up as well, because I wanted to clear the minions out of the way, but the minions were ahead of where I was firing. But it's fine. My main advice to anyone playing a Wukong is don't feed him. Because once he gets fed, that's kind of it. His ult will start doing a ton of damage. The one thing that I find weird about Wukong is that his level 1 ult does pretty much nothing. but his level 2 ult, because it starts off at like something like 20 damage plus whatever damage you've got as an extra, whereas at level 2 it does 110 and whatever you've got as extra. It's a really weird ult, because at level 6 you're not really as threatening as you should be. People just assume because you've got your ult you're threatening, when in actual fact Wukong at level 6 is actually no more threatening than at any other level. Although once he gets his level 2 ult, yeah, then be scared. You can see there's a little bit more of a gap between farm as well. People always say that CS is everything in a match. I disagree. You can have 10 farm, but you might have 15 kills. And that should probably even out. Although, yeah, CSing is quite a big part of the laning phase. So if someone's going to evade you killing them, you're probably going to end up worse off. Two champions I'm sick of seeing so far in this pre-season though is Riven and Evelyn. So freaking sick of seeing them. Someone was gold 5 and they told me that banning them was bronze 6 tactic, which I had to laugh at because they are two very strong picks. They can both carry games pretty easily by themselves. Especially now that Evelyn can't really be stopped. You can buy a pink ward and place it down, and then she'll come and kill it. And then you can put another one down and she'll just come back and kill it. Or go another way. Especially in bot lane. I must have bought about 5 pink wards as the support by about 15 minutes. Because of the fact that she just kept coming and killing it. And because of the fact that we were just getting permanently just... basically just kited. Couldn't really do anything.
Purple team double kill. Purple team's turret has been destroyed.
Just pretty much one shot her. Also, if you win in a game like this, you can see that I'm pretty much going pure damage. I'm not even buying any health, because I don't need to. I'm getting more farm, way more kills. He doesn't have any, I've got 4. And as you can see, once I actually shoot him once, he just pretty much just realizes the world of shit he's in. Well, that doesn't mean you can be super aggressive. Like I know he's popped his W, so I'm just trying to bait him in, because then Elise was coming, and then he does that, and I know exactly what he's gonna do. Try and get away that way. Spins his ult, and then I just shoot him, and then I know he's gonna go down. That's the one benefit I've found to trying all the different kind of champions there are, is if you try all the champions, you know what they're going to do. At least at the ELO I'm at now, I can safely say if I'm versing like a Renekton, I know what he's going to do. If I'm versing a Riven, I know what they're going to do, because they all do the same thing. Just super aggressive. They really need to fix that shield though, Jesus Christ. late game it's just like every 5 seconds she has a massive shield because it's based on a fucking AD.
Team's turret has been destroyed.
It's like what Jax used to do. He used to get freaking damage. Or was it? Am I thinking of it the wrong way around? Damage based on his health or health based on his damage? One of the two. Oh yeah, it was health based on his damage, that was it.
Shut
Build
down.
Jack's ridiculously healthy, you get loads of damage as well. I just said it the wrong way around. It's been a long day. You know what I meant. You know what I meant. One thing I am going to raise is my internet in this new accommodation that I've been in for a couple of months now is absolutely shocking. At home I can get like, I can upload a video that's like a gigabyte in probably about 20 minutes. And in this accommodation I have to physically leave it on overnight. Because it literally takes about 12 to 14 hours. It's ridiculous. All I want to do is upload a video and I have to leave it on overnight. I don't know why he decided to fight me. Honestly, don't know why. One shot. Again, he doesn't realise that if he goes invisible and I've already fired, it's going to hit him, not the clone. It's a targeted ability, not a skill shot. I really wanted to fight Lee here because I know I could take him even with half health. Got BF sword as well. Whenever it crits, it's probably going to do like 400 damage, 500 damage. Oh, on a minion, well, on a golem, 822. Not bad.
Purple team's turret has been
He's only just
destroyed.
got his Vampiric Scepter as well. Anyone who plays Wukong should know that the first item you're probably going to get is a Vampiric Scepter. He's got an attack speed buff on his E. So generally what you're going to do, you're going to use that and attack really fast, so lifesteals are given. But as you can see, like mid did pretty well, I'll say. Bot lane
Purple
didn't
team's turret
really.
has been destroyed.
I don't know whether it's because Leona got 5 kills, but it doesn't look like it did particularly well.
Purple team's
Because they're pretty much even. That Thresh is completely screwed up that grab. Had like the whole king to aim for and he kind of just missed. And I think I'm about to shoot Morgana or something close to that soon. And I found it funny because in the game she pretty much just went that crit damage, because it pretty much just took her from full health to about, must have been about 70 maybe, and then finish her off. I didn't expect my team to actually fight there. Yeah, there you go. Pretty much full health to about 7. And then Thresh is no big deal. He's not going to do all. That's pretty much it. So all I'm going to say is play safe, out farm, out damage. And yeah, you pretty much win against the Bruiser.